because the whole world shifts. The sea stands up. The ground caves in. The tremors are felt for miles. That's how big your God is when he moves. Everything shifts. So the Lord called me. And I became aware of it around 17, though I didn't say yes to it until I was 19. And it's funny because when we talk about the Lord calling us, it's like it's this one-time experience, like he calls you one time. And that's it, and you're done. The truth of the matter is he's still calling me. By the time I get to where he was, he's somewhere else. So Paul says, oh, that I may apprehend that which I'm apprehended of. In other words, I want to capture the God who's calling me. And then the guy who is writing most of the New Testament epistles says, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do. I'm forgetting those things which are behind and reaching to those things which are before. I press toward it. I haven't got it yet, but I press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Means I want to see progress in my process. The goal is not completion or perfection. Perfection is not my aim. It's progress. And he calls me. And I get there, and he calls me. And I get there, and he calls me. And I get there, and he calls me. And suddenly I look back at where I came from and realize that the steps of a good man have been ordered. 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 Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Ordered? Ordered by the Lord. And that means every time I took a step, it's because he called me. He called me, and he's going to keep on calling me until he calls me home. And that will be a call too. And as long as I keep an eternal yes to an eternal call, I will always make progress. The only thing that shuts down the progress is when he calls me and I say no. It's not that I win. It just means that he has to war with me rather than reward me to show me that he's stronger than me. And I delay the process because I don't understand that he's always going to be calling me. And gratification is always going to be somewhere in front of me. And I will almost be there. My mother, who taught me how to make banana pudding from scratch, and when she was sick and dying, I made banana pudding for her and a big meal, and I brought it up to her, and I sat by the bed, and I gave her some of the banana pudding. And I said, Mama, I said, is it good as yours yet? And she looked at me and she said, almost. And I bust out and started laughing because she never was going to admit that I had made it there, but I got as close as almost. And it's so funny because that's what God is saying to me. Almost. Keep on stepping. Keep on stepping. You're almost there. Keep on stepping. You're almost there. Keep on growing. You're almost there. Almost there. I count not myself to have apprehended. And don't you count yourself to have apprehended. Don't die before you die. Don't let the enemy talk you into dying before you die and make you think that you're through just because your old job is over. Just because you're through raising kids or you're through parenting or you're through doing this or you're through doing that doesn't mean that your life is over. It just means that you've changed into another dimension. And if you will allow God to let you change into the next dimension, you will evolve. And when you evolve, your whole world shifts. Everything around you shifts. Everything changes. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. To have the whole world shift. Crushing feels like an earthquake because the whole world shifts. The sea stands up. The ground caves in. The tremors are felt for miles. That's how big your God is when he moves. Everything shifts. I say to you, no, I prophesy to you that a shift is coming of mammoth proportions. And rather than to prepare for where you were, prepare for where you're going. Prepare for what God is going to do in this stage of your life that has never been done before, because he chose you for such a time as this. And if you can let go of your normal